UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon, in a message to mark International Women's Day on March 8th, has called for the empowerment of women as agents of change to address pressing problems. He said in poor parts of the world today, women still risk death in the process of giving life, and girls are attacked on their way to school.
On this International Women's Day, we celebrate the 20th anniversary of a landmark agreement in the struggle for women's rights.
UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon, in a message to mark International Women's Day on March 8th, "We can only address these problems by empowering women as agents of change," he said, while citing positive changes within the UN system. He added, "When I arrived at the United Nations, there were no women leading our peace missions in the field. Now, nearly a quarter of all UN missions are headed by women. Far from enough, but still a vast improvement." The UN Secretary-General also pointed out that he has signed nearly 150 letters of appointment to women in positions as Assistant Secretary-General or Under Secretary-General. While he remains outraged by the denial of rights to women and girls, UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon said he takes heart from the people everywhere who act on the secure knowledge that women's empowerment leads to society's advancement.
Let us do more to empower the world's women, starting now.
Women's rights are human rights to begin with. So all of the violations of women's rights that we are familiar with are actually violations of human rights.
UN Under Secretary-General and Executive Director of UN Women Phumzile Mlambo Ngok also called on the international community to step it up for gender equality in her message to mark the day.
Women want recommitment from leaders, and that is why UN Women has reached out to every head of state to ask for unparalleled and tangible new commitments.
According to her, this year's celebration of International Women's Day is the first within the new 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. The new Agenda Sustainable Development Goals include a specific goal to achieve gender equality, said Mlambo Ngok. Echoing UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon's message, Mlambo Ngok noted that women and girls are critical to finding sustainable solutions to the challenges of poverty, inequality, and the recovery of the communities hardest hit by conflicts, disasters, and displacements. She said, moreover, women and girls are in the front line of the outbreaks of threatening new epidemics, such as Zika virus disease or the impacts of climate change, and at the same time are the bulwark to protect their families, work for peace, and ensure sustainable economic growth and social change. So she reiterated the greater participation of women as one of the necessary conditions for an inclusive Agenda 2030. Their leadership is insufficiently recognized, but must emerge with greater participation in decision-making bodies, she said. The 2016 theme for International Women's Day is Planet 50-50 by 2030, Step It Up for Gender Equality.
Can and will. One of the barrier that I think is a big elephant in the room that most of us have not invested enough in addressing is prejudice against women and stereotypes that are there in every society, whether we are living in the most developed country and in the less developed country.
The official UN commemoration is scheduled to take place at the UN headquarters in New York City on March 8th.